Hello everyone, my name is Legend Ronnie and this game is Rise of Kingdoms. Race against time, right? This is the new event that just popped in today, and this is the new event and probably is everyone is hyped and want to get into it. Everyone wants to get the high score. Who doesn't love legendary sculptures by just killing barbarians? Am I right? I'm gonna give you my best tips and advices and the best guide you can get about getting a high rank in this particular event. And this is not all, so I'm not just talking by giving you advices. I am actually rank 3. So I'm actually rank 3 in the first day on this particular event. You notice that the score is very tight, so I believe that I can actually give you some good advices. I could have been rank 1, just in case you're wondering, but I was at the point where I had to take left or I had to take right. So in the left I had high level barbarians above level 30, and on the right I had more but lower level barbarians under level 30. So I choose going right when I was like on the last minute and 10. I had to travel a little bit more, and I didn't manage to kill all of them like I was hoping. So I managed to kill only 3 of them. So if I would have gone left, which was way closer, and I would have had high level barbarians but less in numbers, I could have been way higher in rank. I could have been at least rank 2, if not rank 1. But I took the wrong turn. So for that I'm rank 3. But I'm gonna go through it, and obviously tomorrow I'm gonna have 3 more tries, and the day after that I'm gonna have 3 more tries. So I'm gonna give you the best tips and advices, and I'm gonna explain you everything about and everything I know how to get rank 3 or a very high rank. At least how I got rank 3. So let's start with the beginning. This is not very simple, guys. This is not just simply taking out your marchers out of your city and just go kill barbarians. It's no, you need a strategy, you need to use buffs, you need a very good location, you need good pair of commanders. You don't need to think about which commanders you're gonna level up at this point. You just need pure commanders who will do pure damage. On top of that, you need your setup. So if you know, when you go to your commanders, you can set up your commanders. Attack, you know, damage to the barbarians. I took everything that I could have put bonus on. So obviously Genghis Khan with attack, obviously low hard damage to barbarians. If you're not having Genghis Khan, you can put someone else. You can put Minamoto over there instead of Pelagius. You can put someone else with troops health, but obviously it's just the attack that matters. So it's basically just where is Lohar and where is Genghis Khan. Couple more things you want to before you want to get into it. So let me just find a city I can actually give a title just randomly to show you. Right now I just random TP'd. Alright, so for example, you know, there is the Justice title, right? It gives troops attack and march speed. This is one title that any title officers can give. So whoever is queen, general, prime minister or king, they can actually give you justice. Now if you talk with them and you tell them that you actually want to participate in this event, you put everything on the line, you prepare everything that you need to prepare, and then you just ask for it. When you're ready, you know, you set up a time. Okay, listen, at this hour I'm gonna be ready. Can I have justice for 15 minutes? I'm pretty sure you can have it. You're definitely gonna have it. You just need to ask for it and you'll get it. Whichever kingdom you are from, I'm not saying just my kingdom, they're definitely gonna help you out. So justice, because you need march speed. March speed is very important. You need to go from barbarian to barbarian in a total of 9 minutes. So you need to kill as many barbarians as possible in a total of 9 minutes. So trying to get justice, that's gonna be a plus. Your personal buffs. This is the best rune for this particular event, which is Rune of Wind, because you need more march speed. The more march speed you have, the faster you travel from a barbarian to another. So, and you need attack because you need to take them down as fast as possible. Personal buff. I didn't actually think that using a 10% buff just for this particular task is gonna make such a huge difference, like just 5 attack. So I only use a 5% attack. But if you wanna hope for the best, if you wanna have the best of the best, then obviously you have to go with a 10% attack. As I said, I went with the 5% attack. Maybe that's the reason why I'm rank 3. You never know. I'll probably have to try it tomorrow. Troops capacity. Now this is a huge importance. This is a very, very huge importance. 50% troops capacity. Because it says itself, you can literally bring 50% more troops. You'll have 300k marchers out there. You have a total of 1.5 million troops hitting a barbarian. Obviously, you need to have the troops. So that also says that you have to kill the barbarians with 5 marches. There you go. Troops capacity, rune of wind, everything adds up. Using a city design also makes a difference. For example, you're definitely going to use a lot of cavs. If you don't have the Twilight Falls, which is a very rare design, then you can probably have the Sour Song, which is cavalry attack plus 5%, or archers, infantry, cavalry health, infantry attack, archers defense, troops attack. Anything that can give attack to the troops that you want to use, it's actually very, very useful. So I had Twilight Falls, which is probably the best one, skill damage plus 5%. So obviously I had a plus on this one because I had the design as well. On top of that, so this is, I talk about the personal buff, I talk about the city design. I'm gonna tell you the marches that I used also to get rank 3, and there's a couple more things. Maybe your alliance is not max skill, okay, max technology. I do apologize. On the development, damage increase. So you want to make sure that when you want to try this task, you are in one of the alliance that actually has as much possible technology on the development and on the territory. And obviously more specific on the regular army, which you notice that is damage increase to barbarians and other neutral units. So this is 25% damage increase to barbarians and other neutral units. Obviously the old kingdoms, that pretty much all the alliances, they have max technology and nobody's thinking about it. But if you're in one of the new kingdoms, not all the alliances have this. Most of the alliances, they focus on the war technology because Lost Kingdom is getting close, and this is making a difference in the Lost Kingdom. So you might want to search for an alliance that actually is very focused on development. 2 is going to be the territorial bonuses. Now the only way you can benefit from the territorial bonuses is if you kill the barbarians on your own territory. So for example, this is my own territory, the dark green color. If I'm just going to pick a random location, okay, so I'm just going to pick a random location over here. You're noticing that there is barbarians everywhere. Now as long as you move and as long as you kill barbarians on your own territory from the technology, you benefit from 2 things. 1, attack, and 2, march speed. These are the most important parts that you care about this event as well. So there you go, more attack, more march speed. So there's a total of 22% march speed, if I'm correct. Yes, and 20% attack that you get from the territory is this particular technology are maxed out. So this is another advice I want to take. You know, if you can be in an alliance that actually has this one maxed or close to max, because as I said, some of the new kingdoms, the alliances don't have max technology. Then you want to find an area. So before you start killing, before you position yourself, you want to find the area. And what am I saying about the area? You need to chain the barbarians as much as you can with 5 marchers. Just swarm, 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 going from barbarians to barbarians. You need to do a crazy amount of killing, and it's 9 minutes of your time where you need to be pay a lot of attention. So for example, this area, it's actually a very bad starting area. This is the best way you can scan. Just zoom out just a little bit so you can see the barbarians, you can see the axes. So obviously those are barbarians. So you already see that there is a lot of axes on this area. So let's say that this is a good starting area, but after the starting area, you need to look if you have connections. So you need to build a strategy how you're gonna kill these barbarians if you want to try to get a very high rank in this. For example, there is a lot of barbarians over there, right? But not much connection, and it's also not your territory. So there is a risk taking going into that area. I had to take risk as well because I wasn't fighting barbarians. But look at this, for example. This looks quite a very good place. So for example, I'm taking this area already. You start from this place. So you build a strategy. You go on the right. You don't have to go on the left. So you need to chain barbarians to barbarians. You go on the right. Then you go up in this area. So I'm just giving you this as an example. Then you go up. Then you have your own territory again. So obviously you're gonna go very fast with these barbarians. At some point, if you go on the right, you don't have to go on the left because you lose time. So this is a couple of things that you need to pay attention. You always need to look on the next barbarians, on the next one, and on the next one. So you need to have 2 or 3 barbarians in your mind every single time that you're gonna chain. But you can't have only one, because at some point you're gonna kill one and you're gonna go like, okay, so where am I going next? You understand what I'm trying to say? I hope you do. So for example, you get to this point, you'll probably look on the left, and it looks really good. There's quite a lot of barbarians, but you can still go on your territory and have a lot of territory bonuses. So this is the kind of situation where I was stuck in. So I had 2 options, you know, like you have over here. I could have gone on the left where there was a lot of barbarians, and I could have gone on the right. So this is the kind of same situation on this side. So you can choose to go on the right, and you're noticing that there is no other connection if you still have time, or you can go on the left where you have a lot more barbarians, you don't have the territorial bonuses, and take a chance over there. Right, so as I said, you need to build a strategy. You need to make sure with the area where you're teleporting, you need to scan it up ahead. Make sure there is a lot of barbarians available. Try to benefit from the territorial bonuses. And one of the most important thing, which is in the Alliance technology as well, is unbridled progress. That's true, unbridled progress. Damage dealt to barbarians and other neutral units 30%. On top of that, 10% march speed. So this is another very great advice that you want to know exactly, or you want to ask your officers if you're not a rank 4, when unbridled progress is going to be used. So that way you know, and you plan everything ahead, you prepare your marches, you prepare your area, you know where you're going to port in, you know when unbridled progress is going to be used. It lasts for 4 hours. You can ask one of the title officer when you can queue up for justice, so you have everything ready. When you have unbridled progress, everything lines up, then you start slaughtering the barbarians and hope for the best. Because in the end, by doing this particular event, Race Against Time, you can get some sweet legendary sculptures. And what do you spend? Action points again. So obviously this is something I would definitely try to spend some time, and I would try to put some effort for legendary sculptures. Right, now I can tell you my marches and my builds that I used. Unfortunately, I have a lot of max legendaries, so obviously I used a lot of max legendaries. Now if you don't have that many max legendaries, you can definitely go with epics. There's still quite a large amount of epic commanders and great nukers. As long as you have the 50% army expansion, and as long as you're ready to throw in that. And if you're wondering how is the best way to get army expansions, I get them through the mysterious merchant. So all my army expansion, if I'm not purchasing one of the bundles, like, not this one, like War Machine or Call of the Ancients, which is kind of the only bundles that I do spend on at the moment, or celebration event as it is right now, those particular bundles give you army expansions. But the other way I buy my army expansions is from the mysterious merchant. You find them 70% off, that's 1,500 gems. Even for free to play, you should definitely have some army expansions in stock at all times for any kind of situation. Either is a very important war or a very special event, you want to give it a try. 50% army expansion makes a difference. Now, Minamoto, he is a peacekeeper, so by nature selection you're gonna pick him up. Increased damage dealt to barbarians by troops led by this commander, 50%. This not a question. You definitely gonna have to pick Minamoto. Now, one of my pairs was Minamoto with Frederick. The reason was simply because he has a little bit of extra healing and 50% troops capacity, and his max skills, because his max skills, his primary has a 100% chance to deal additional damage, you know, over the next 3 seconds. So that's the only reason that I chose Frederick. So basically this particular march, you see over there, 340k troops capacity. So my Minamoto with Frederick has 340k capacity. Now that was one of the build. Again, peacekeeping commander leading. The second build was double C primary. This is against barbarians, guys. So again, these builds are against barbarians. Double C primary with Genghis Khan secondary. Okay, now obviously it would have made sense when I showed at the beginning on the commander portrait. You can definitely put double C having 1% attack instead of Genghis Khan having 1% attack. Well, it's still 1%, but you can put double C for that role because he's primary. Double C primary, Genghis Khan secondary. Both cavalry commanders, both great nukers, insane amount of damage. My third pair was Boudica primary. Now why is Boudica primary? Again, peacekeeper plus skill commander with Saladin secondary. I used cavalry. All my 5 marchers were cavalry, guys. So this was my third build. Boudica primary with Saladin secondary. Only cavalry. My fourth build was Lohar primary with YSG secondary. I was actually thinking to go with Markswoman, as hard as it sounds, because she's also a archer commander, and second, she has the skill talentry. So I was actually thinking, you know, to going with Markswoman, you know, but then I said I'd rather pick Lohar. You know, he is a peacekeeping, he has the rejuvenate. YSG has his second skill, so there's definitely going to be some crazy amount of skill damage. Lohar also has quite a decent amount of mobility, and you know, I was more inclined, so I used Lohar with YSG as my fourth pair. Now my fifth pair, it might shock you a little bit, and for my fifth pair I choose Ethelflaed primary. The reason why is because of the debuff. The debuff she does, the defense, health and attack reduction. Whatever attack reduction is a little bit relevant, it doesn't matter on barbarians, but the defense and health. So when you have 1.5 million marchers swarming a barbarian, when Ethelflaed does this debuff, that barbarian is just melting. The next skill on that barbarian after this, after Ethelflaed is using her primary skill, is just melting the barbarian. The barbarians just literally get destroyed in a matter of seconds, because that's exactly what you need. Ethelflaed primary with Alexander secondary and using calves. Now this might surprise you, but is specifically only because of his second skill, because his second skill is not dependent by rage. So you don't need rage for the second skill of Alexander the Great to go off. And when you have Ethelflaed with Alexander with a 50% army expansion, you have about 270k troops, because my Ethelflaed is level 40. If she is level 60, it would have been 300k. So when 200k troops are in the march and the second skill of Alexander goes off, there's quite a significant skill damage that you can get it right off the bat. So I just started hitting the barbarians, and then bam, you just get a nuke 15k on that barbarian. So for that reason I use Alexander with Ethelflaed. So these were my 5 marches. They got me rank 3 on the first day. I'm really happy. I'm definitely gonna try better, but unbridled progress is gone. So we no longer have the unbridled progress. So even if I'm gonna have to remain rank 3, I'm very happy about it. So this is everything that I used for getting a high rank as possible on Race Against Time. Now if you have any question, if you think that I missed something, you can always drop a comment in the comment section below, and I'm definitely gonna answer it. But there's nothing else to say about it. Another area you can choose from, it's always another way you can choose your area or find the area, is for example just this place, because this is one of the reasons where I'm right now. I'm just preparing for the next day when these chances are gonna reset, so I'm gonna have 3 more chances, is as far away as the population. I'm gonna use it like that, okay? So it might sound a little bit crazy, but as further away as you go from the population, higher chances are that you find areas where there's actually more barbarians, because there's actually no one marching their marchers to kill barbarians. Everyone is just trying to kill marchers as close as they can. So if you're notice quite a lot of areas where you can chain the barbarians and going from barbarians to barbarians. Obviously it's not your own territory, so you're not going to have the territorial bonuses, but you do have high level barbarians. So there's advantages and disadvantages. Because for example, if you go for high level barbarians, it takes you longer to kill them, but you get more points. If you go for low level barbarians, but it is your territory, you kill them way faster, and you can just chain from barbarians to barbarians. Another advice I can give you in mind is try to keep an eye on your action points. Don't wait your action points to go low so the system asks you for action points, because that's the time when you lose time. Make sure that you always click plus and you always pump some action points. You always keep the bar at least half full or a little bit over half full. So that way you're never gonna have the problem of getting stuck when you attack a barbarian. The message is gonna pop and you're losing seconds. Because it's called Race Against Time. So anything that can reduce your time from chaining barbarians to barbarians is very helpful. So I hope you guys enjoyed this guide. I hope you guys find this guide very helpful. It was a little bit long, but there was a little bit to talk about. I'm rank 3. Hopefully I'm gonna end rank 3 or maybe even higher, who knows. Let me know what rank you guys managed to get, and let me know if this was helpful for you. Until next time, this is your boy Legend Ronnie signing off. Peace out, yo, and take care.